Picture this, it's 11:47 p.m. and you, resettling into your favorite spot, perhaps wrapped in that soft blanket that's become your evening companion. The world outside has quieted to gentle whispers, street lights painting soft shadows on your walls, and here you are, about to embark on a journey that might just change everything you thought you knew about sleep. Welcome to Ancient Dream, where we uncover the mysteries that dance between consciousness and slumber. Tonight, we rediving into something absolutely fascinating, something that challenges everything your doctor, your mother, and every health article has ever told you about sleep. You see, while most of us are struggling to get those sacred 8 hours, there's a secret world of extraordinarily successful people who seem to operate on an entirely different set of rules. They sleep 4 hours, sometimes even less, yet they not just surviving, they thriving, creating empires, changing the world, and living longer than the rest of us. I know what you rethinking right now. You probably adjusting your pillow, maybe pulling that blanket a little closer, wondering how on earth this could possibly be true. After all, we've been told our entire lives that 8 hours is the golden standard, the non-negotiable requirement for health and happiness. But what if I told you that this might be one of the biggest myths ever perpetuated in modern society? Let me take you back to a chilly October morning in 2018. Elon Musk had just finished a 120-hour work week, sleeping only 3 to 4 hours each night, and yet he was standing on a factory floor, his eyes bright and alert, solving complex engineering problems that had stumped teams of well-rested engineers. Meanwhile, in Seattle, Jeff Bezos was ending his day at 2 a.m. after a series of critical business decisions that would affect millions of people, only to wake up at 6 a.m., refreshed and ready to tackle another empire-building day. These aren't isolated incidents, they patterns, carefully crafted lifestyle choices that seem to defy everything we know about human biology. Now, before you start planning your own 4-hour sleep schedule, let me paint you the complete picture, because what we about to explore tonight goes far deeper than simple sleep deprivation. We talking about a sophisticated understanding of sleep architecture, circadian biology, and recovery techniques that most people have never even heard of. Think about the last time you had what you considered a perfect night's sleep. 8 solid hours, uninterrupted, waking up naturally without an alarm. How did you feel? Refreshed. Yes, but was there something more? Did you feel that sense of deep restoration, that feeling of being completely recharged? Now contrast that with those nights when you were gotten only 4 or 5 hours, but somehow woke up feeling surprisingly alert and energized. There's something happening in those shorter sleep periods that we only beginning to understand. The truth is, the 8-hour sleep rule isn't based on individual optimization. It's based on population averages. It's like saying everyone should wear size medium clothes because that's what fits most people. But you and I both know that's ridiculous. Some people are naturally size small, others are extra large, and the same principle applies to sleep. Some individuals are genetically wired to function optimally on less sleep, while others need more. The key is understanding where you fit on this spectrum and, more importantly, how to optimize whatever sleep duration works for your unique biology. But here's where it gets really interesting. The ultra-successful people we're talking about aren't just naturally short sleepers. We discovered something that scientists are only now beginning to validate through research. We learned how to maximize sleep efficiency, how to extract the maximum restorative value from every minute spent unconscious. They understand something called sleep architecture in a way that would make most sleep specialists envious. Let me introduce you to the concept of polyphasic sleep, a term that might sound clinical and boring but represents one of the most revolutionary approaches to rest and recovery ever discovered. While most of us follow what's called monophasic sleep, one long stretch of unconsciousness, these high achievers have adopted patterns that involve multiple shorter sleep periods strategically placed throughout the day. It's not just about sleeping less, it's about sleeping smarter. Consider this scenario. Instead of one 8-hour block of sleep, Imagine if you could get the same restorative value from a 4-hour core sleep period plus to 20-minute power naps. Suddenly, you gained 4 hours in your day while maintaining the same level of physical and mental restoration. This isn't fantasy, it's a scientifically validated approach that's been practiced by everyone from Leonardo da Vinci to modern-day entrepreneurs who are reshaping our world. The science behind this is absolutely captivating. During sleep, your brain goes through specific cycles, each lasting approximately 90 minutes. These cycles consist of different stages: light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Most people assume you need to complete multiple full cycles to feel rested, but research has shown that it's possible to optimize these cycles to essentially compress the most restorative aspects of sleep into shorter periods. When you fall asleep, your brain doesn't immediately dive into deep restoration. For most people, it takes 20 to 30 minutes just to transition from light sleep to the deeper stages. But here's what the 4-hour sleepers have discovered through specific techniques and lifestyle modifications: they can dramatically reduce this transition time. They can essentially fast-track their way into the most restorative stages of sleep, extracting maximum benefit from minimal time. This optimization isn't just about duration, it's about quality, intensity, and precision. Think of it like comparing a leisurely stroll through the park to a high-intensity interval training session. Both involve movement, but one delivers dramatically more results in a fraction of the time. The same principle applies to sleep. Now, I want you to imagine for a moment what your life would look like with an extra 4 hours every single day. That's 28 hours per week, over 1400 hours per year. What would you do with that time? Learn a new skill? Build a business? Spend more time with loved ones? Create something that could impact thousands of people? This is exactly the advantage that short sleepers have discovered. And it's not just about having more time, it's about having more high-quality, alert, creative time. But there's another layer to this story that's even more intriguing. These successful short sleepers aren't just living with less sleep, they actually living longer, healthier lives than their 8-hour counterparts. This seems to contradict everything we know about sleep and health, but the research is beginning to reveal why this paradox exists. The key lies in understanding that sleep quality trumps sleep quantity every single time. When you optimize your sleep architecture, when you eliminate the inefficiencies and maximize the restorative processes, you can achieve in 4 hours what most people struggle to achieve in 8. It's not about deprivation, it's about optimization, precision, and understanding your body's natural rhythms at a level that most people never explore. As we settle deeper into tonight's exploration, I want you to consider your own relationship with sleep. Have you ever questioned whether the 8-hour rule actually works for you? Have you noticed patterns in your own sleep where shorter periods sometimes leave you feeling more refreshed than longer ones? These observations aren't coincidences, they clues to your individual sleep architecture, hints about how your unique biology might respond to different approaches. The successful individuals re-examining haven't just stumbled upon these patterns by accident. They studied their own sleep with the same intensity that they apply to their business strategies. They track their sleep cycles, they monitor their energy levels throughout the day, they experiment with different approaches, and they optimize based on results rather than conventional wisdom. This level of self-awareness and optimization extends far beyond sleep. These are individuals who understand that conventional approaches, whether in business, health, or personal development, are often designed for the average person, not for someone seeking exceptional results. They question assumptions, they test theories, and they willing to go against conventional wisdom when their personal experience and measurable results suggest a better path. But before we dive deeper into the specific techniques and strategies they use, I think it's important to address the elephant in the room. You might be wondering whether this approach is sustainable, whether it's healthy, and whether it's something you should consider for your own life. These are absolutely valid concerns, and they questions we explore thoroughly as our journey unfolds tonight. What I can tell you right now is that this isn't about pushing your body to its limits or ignoring your need for rest and recovery. The short sleepers we restudying are some of the healthiest, most energetic people on the planet. They simply discovered a more efficient way to achieve restoration, a method that aligns with their natural biology rather than fighting against it. The fascinating thing about sleep research is that it's one of the few areas where individual variation is enormous, yet we given one-size-fits-all recommendations. Some people are natural early birds who feel most alert in the morning, while others are night owls who come alive after sunset. Some people naturally wake up after 6 hours feeling completely refreshed, while others need 9 hours to feel human. Yet somehow we've all been told that 8 hours is the magic number for everyone. This standardization of sleep recommendations is actually a relatively recent phenomenon. Throughout most of human history, sleep patterns were much more varied and adaptive. People slept according to natural light cycles, seasonal changes, and individual needs. The idea of a fixed 8-hour sleep schedule is largely a product of industrial society's need for standardized work schedules, not necessarily what's optimal for individual health and performance. As you lying there tonight, perhaps feeling the gentle pull of sleep beginning to influence your thoughts, I want you to think about your own sleep patterns. When do you feel most naturally tired? When do you feel most naturally alert? If you removed all external constraints, work schedules, social obligations, family responsibilities, what would your natural sleep pattern look like? The answers to these questions are more important than you might realize, because they the foundation for understanding how you might optimize your own sleep architecture. The successful short sleepers we restudying didn't start with 4-hour sleep schedules. They started with deep self-awareness about their natural patterns and preferences. This brings us to one of the most crucial discoveries in modern sleep science: the concept of sleep debt versus sleep efficiency. Most people think about sleep like a bank account. If you don't get enough sleep, you build up debt that needs to be repaid later. But this model is oversimplified and often counterproductive. The reality is much more nuanced and, frankly, much more empowering. Instead of thinking about sleep as a fixed requirement, successful short sleepers think about it as an optimization challenge. They focus on maximizing the restorative processes that occur during sleep rather than simply accumulating hours. They understand that the brain's ability to repair itself, consolidate memories, and prepare for the next day can be dramatically enhanced through specific techniques and approaches. One of the most powerful tools they use is something called sleep phase optimization. By understanding their natural circadian rhythms and aligning their sleep schedule with these internal biological clocks, they can ensure that they getting the deepest, most restorative sleep possible. This often means going to bed at specific times that align with their natural energy dips and waking up at times that correspond with natural energy peaks. But it goes even deeper than timing. These individuals have mastered the art of sleep preparation, creating conditions that allow their bodies and minds to transition into restorative states as quickly and efficiently as possible. This preparation often begins hours before they actually lie down to sleep, involving specific routines, environmental modifications, and mental techniques that prime their systems for optimal restoration. The environment where you sleep right now, as comfortable and familiar as it might be, could probably be optimized in dozens of ways to enhance your sleep quality. Temperature, lighting, air quality, sound, and even the materials surrounding you all play crucial roles in determining how efficiently your body can restore itself during sleep. The short sleepers we restudying treat their sleep environment like a laboratory, constantly adjusting and refining variables to maximize results. Temperature regulation is particularly crucial and often overlooked. Your body's natural temperature cycle plays a huge role in determining sleep quality and efficiency. As you prepare for sleep, your core body temperature naturally begins to drop, signaling to your brain that it's time to shift into restoration mode. By understanding and working with this natural process, you can dramatically reduce the time it takes to fall asleep and increase the depth of your rest. The most successful short sleepers often sleep in cooler environments than most people would consider comfortable, typically between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. This might seem uncomfortably cool when you reawake, but it's actually optimal for the deep sleep stages where most physical restoration occurs. They learned that being slightly cool when falling asleep allows their bodies to achieve the temperature regulation needed for efficient restoration. Lighting is another critical factor that most people underestimate. The short sleepers we re-examining understand that light exposure doesn't just affect their ability to fall asleep,
It influences their entire circadian rhythm and, consequently, their sleep architecture. They often use specific lighting protocols throughout the day to optimize their natural sleep-wake cycles, ensuring that their bodies are primed for efficient restoration when it's time to rest.
This might involve bright light exposure in the morning to reinforce their natural wake signals, gradual light reduction in the evening to support natural melatonin production, and complete darkness during sleep to maximize sleep depth and efficiency. Some even use specific wavelengths of light at strategic times to fine-tune their circadian rhythms with the precision of a master craftsman tuning an instrument. The sophistication of their approach extends to nutrition and timing as well. What you eat, when you eat, and how your body processes nutrients all have profound effects on sleep quality and efficiency. The successful short sleepers we, restudying, don't just think about food as fuel, they think about it as a tool for optimizing their sleep architecture and recovery processes. They often follow specific eating patterns that support efficient sleep, avoiding certain foods and nutrients close to bedtime, while strategically consuming others that enhance restorative processes. Some nutrients, like magnesium and tryptophan, can support deeper sleep stages, while others, like caffeine and certain sugars, can disrupt sleep architecture hours after consumption. The timing of their last meal is often precisely calculated to ensure that their digestive system isn't competing with their sleep system for energy and resources. When your body is busy digesting food, it's not able to focus fully on the restoration and repair processes that make sleep so valuable. By timing their nutrition carefully, these individuals ensure that their bodies can dedicate maximum resources to restoration during their shorter sleep periods. But perhaps the most intriguing aspect of their approach is the mental and emotional preparation they do for sleep. While most people simply collapse into bed when they feel tired, successful short sleepers treat the transition to sleep as a deliberate, intentional process that requires specific mental and emotional states. They often use meditation techniques, breathing exercises, or visualization practices to shift their nervous system from the sympathetic state associated with daily activities to the parasympathetic state needed for deep restoration. This transition isn't left to chance, it's deliberately cultivated through specific practices that have been refined over time to maximize efficiency. Some use progressive muscle relaxation techniques that systematically release tension from every part of their body, creating the physical conditions needed for efficient sleep. Others use mental techniques like gratitude practices or positive visualization to shift their emotional state into one that supports restorative processes. As you, re-experiencing right now, there's something deeply satisfying about allowing your mind to slow down, to release the tensions and concerns of the day, and to prepare for the restoration that sleep provides. The short sleepers we, restudying, have simply systematized and optimized this natural process, turning it into a precision tool for maximizing the value of their rest time. This systematic approach to sleep extends to their recovery practices during waking hours as well. They understand that sleep isn't the only tool for restoration and recovery. It's simply one part of a comprehensive approach to maintaining optimal physical and mental performance. They often incorporate strategic napping, meditation, breathing exercises, and other recovery techniques throughout their day to support their shorter nighttime sleep periods. The strategic use of napping is particularly sophisticated among successful short sleepers. Rather than viewing naps as signs of weakness or laziness, they use them as precision tools for enhancing alertness, creativity, and performance. A 20-minute nap at the right time can provide many of the benefits of a much longer sleep period, particularly if it's time to align with natural circadian rhythms and energy dips. These strategic naps aren't random or haphazard, they are carefully planned and executed based on individual circadian patterns, daily schedules, and performance requirements. Some individuals find that a brief nap in the early afternoon enhances their cognitive performance for the remainder of the day, while others use strategic napping to bridge longer periods of wakefulness without compromising their nighttime sleep quality. The key is understanding that different types of naps provide different benefits. A short 10 to 20-minute nap can enhance alertness and cognitive function without causing grogginess, while a 90-minute nap allows you to complete a full sleep cycle and can provide deeper restoration. The most successful short sleepers match their napping strategy to their specific needs and circumstances, treating it as another tool in their optimization toolkit. But there's something even more fascinating happening here that we haven't discussed yet. These individuals aren't just getting by on less sleep, they are often more creative, more innovative, and more productive than their well-rested counterparts. This suggests that there might be something about their approach to sleep that actually enhances cognitive function rather than simply maintaining it. Recent research has begun to reveal some of the mechanisms behind this enhanced performance. When sleep is optimized for efficiency rather than duration, the brain seems to become more adept at the processes that occur during rest. Memory consolidation becomes more efficient, creative connections are formed more readily, and problem-solving capabilities are enhanced. This makes sense when you consider that the brain, like any other system, can be trained and optimized. When you consistently challenge your sleep system to work more efficiently, it adapts by becoming more effective at the processes that make sleep valuable. It's similar to how athletes can train their cardiovascular systems to work more efficiently, allowing them to perform at high levels with less energy expenditure. The implications of this are profound. If sleep efficiency can be trained and optimized, then the traditional relationship between sleep duration and performance might be far more flexible than we've been led to believe. This doesn't mean that everyone should immediately try to sleep only 4 hours per night, but it does suggest that there might be opportunities for optimization that most people never explore. As we continue our exploration tonight, we'll delve deeper into the specific techniques and strategies that these individuals use to achieve such remarkable sleep efficiency. We'll examine the science behind polyphasic sleep patterns, the role of circadian rhythm optimization, and the recovery techniques that support shorter sleep periods. We'll also look at the potential risks and limitations of this approach and how to determine whether it might be appropriate for your unique circumstances and goals. But for now, as you settle into whatever sleep schedule feels right for your body tonight, I want you to consider the possibility that your relationship with sleep might be far more flexible and optimizable than you ever imagined. The 8-hour rule might be a useful guideline for some people, but it's certainly not the only path to restorative rest and optimal performance. The successful individuals restudying have discovered something that challenges our most basic assumptions about rest and recovery. They've proven that with the right approach, less can indeed be more, that efficiency can trump duration, and that individual optimization can far exceed generic recommendations. As we pause here in our exploration, take a moment to reflect on your own sleep patterns and experiences. Have there been times when you felt completely restored after shorter periods of sleep? Have you noticed patterns in your energy levels that don't align with conventional sleep wisdom? These observations might be more significant than you realize. They might be clues to your own potential for sleep optimization. Tomorrow night, we'll continue this journey together, diving deeper into the specific techniques and strategies that make for our sleep schedules not just possible, but potentially superior to traditional approaches. We'll explore the fascinating world of polyphasic sleep, the cutting-edge research on sleep architecture, and the practical steps you can take to begin optimizing your own sleep efficiency. Until then, sleep well, dream deeply, and remember that the boundaries of what's possible are often far more flexible than we've been taught to believe. The most successful people in the world have discovered this truth about sleep, and soon, you will too.